We're here with Dan Reno, the Director of Technical Marketing for HDDs at Western Digital. Dan, we recently spoke with Cameron Brett of Toshiba on the 12 gig infrastructure and would like to continue discussions on this topic.
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate the time to discuss 12 gig with you and our listening audience. As you know, Cameron and I are both on the board of directors of STAY, which is the marketing arm for the T10 Industry Consortium. And you can see I have my shirt on today. T10, of course, is the engineering community for SCSI, which is chartered to continue improving SAS, or as it's known, the Serial Attached SCSI, for the enterprise and data center applications throughout the world.
Okay, so regarding 12 gig SAS, are there any attributes which you find new or most compelling?
Yes, one of the key attributes which many of the HDD and SSD SAS providers are planning to adopt is a feature called the Power Disable Pin, or sometimes referenced as Pin 3.
What exactly is this Power Disable Pin?
Essentially, this is an enclosure services capability for the system suppliers. The goal is on improving control over these storage devices. Historically, during the parallel SCSI days, there was a reset pin. This was often a NMI or non-maskable interrupt, which was typically into the device's controller CPU and thus the firmware, which would help force a reset condition should the need arise. During the implementation of SAS, this was not carried forward. However, the need still exists. For this reason, with the advent of the new 8639 connector, one of the historically unused pin, which happened to be reserved for power supply voltages that were never fully utilized within the industry, that was instead now redefined to this Power Disable pin, and that happens to be pin number 3.
So how might this benefit the end user?
Well, basically this pin is a direct power disable, which essentially forces a hard reset into the device. The system can utilize this in times where it believes that communication must be restored, and within a huge data center, they can't send someone over to just power cycle the drive. This gives thus the system this enclosure services capability to do this.
So Dan, lastly you mentioned the 8639 connector. Can you tell me more?
Yes. Well, as a drive supplier, we plug into the system via a connector which resides on their backplane. Recently, a new multifunction connector was developed for the system to be capable of supporting 12 gigabyte connection speeds. This industry standard connector was developed by both T10 and SFF, which is the Small Form Factor Committee, and it is called the 8639 connector.
So why is this important?
Well, it's important for this power disable because with the advent of this new connector, and thus new system backplanes are being developed to utilize this new connector with their 12 gig applications. Net of it is the timing's perfect for incorporating a new function with this new connector.
Great, Dan, thank you. We've been speaking to Dan Reno, Director of Technical Marketing for HDDs at Western Digital, and one of the leaders of the SCSI Trade Association on the board of directors, and an active participant in the community. Dan, thank you for taking your time today during our meeting week here in New Orleans, and we'll let you go back and drive more of the technical standards.
Sounds
Thank you.
great. Pleasure being here. Thank you.